Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Tonight we are making shepherd's pie. It serves 4 to 6. It's pretty easy to make. Here's what we need. We're also going to need 2 saucepans, one for cooking the mince mixture in, which is going to simmer for half an hour. The other one for doing the potatoes, which we're going to mash, which cook for about 20 minutes. And we're going to need something to cook our pie in. So, let's go. Okay, so ingredients check. 1 kilo of potatoes, which we're going to peel and chop. I just got these ones. You can use whichever potatoes you want. 1 onion, which we're going to finely chop. 750 grams of lean beef mince, or you can use lamb mince. Shepherd's pie is predominantly made with beef mince, but if you want to do lamb mince, you can go for it. 375 mils of beef stock. We're going to make that up with the stock powder. A 500 gram can of condensed tomato soup. Condensed tomato soup is normally in a 400 gram tin. So I've got creamy tomato, 535 grams. And then finally, half a cup of light sour cream. I've got some. I don't know how good it's going to be, so I've got a backup. Alright, so let's go. Okay, so to finely chop your onion, first of all, cut it in half. This one's already making me cry, and all I've done is just peel it, so there we go. Chop it like this. And then just go like this. If you want it finer than what I'm doing, just cut it again. I hate cutting onions because, as I said, this one's making me cry. So that's fine enough, but if you want it even finer, just cut it smaller. Alright, now I haven't got that saucepan out that I was talking about yet. So let's grab a saucepan that we can use. Pop some olive oil in it, crank it up to 6, grab your stirring stick, and let's get this onion in. Alright, so there's our onion. I don't know if I remembered to tell you. Pop your oven onto 200 to heat up. And this serves 4 to 6 depending on how hungry everyone is. Now I'm going to get this on to simmer before I worry about the potatoes, because this is going to simmer for longer than potatoes take to cook. Okay. So while that's going on, we're going to get our beef mince at the ready and measure up our beef stock. Which I think was, 375 mils. So you want a jug that can do, it's about 1.5 cups is 375 mils. So when you make stock powder, stock I should say from powder, 1 teaspoon generally is supposed to do 1 cup. So you want 1.5 teaspoons. You can put more flavour in because it flavours it more, obviously. But don't go too crazy because you don't want it to be too insane. So find a happy medium. So I'm just going to go 1.5 teaspoons, and pretty big ones at that. Oh, it's good to have nice new stock powder because the last few times I've been using the beef stock and the chicken stock, I've had to get a knife and stab it just to be able to get enough out to make my stock that I need. Okay, and then the last thing is going to be the can of soup. So I'll show you my little trick how I wash out the tin with the stock, so we're not actually wasting the soup. So I haven't got a lot of room in the kitchen at the moment. Alright. Here it's sizzling. Okay. So while that's going on, I'm going to use the one that I used the other day, the oblong one, because it's a good size baking dish. This one here. Okay, it's flying. It doesn't really fly. So you want to spray that with cooking spray sometime before we're ready to put everything in. Okay. So you also need to grab your other one that you was going to use. And now would be, while this is going on, this is a good time to learn multitasking, because what we're actually going to do is start and peel our potatoes. And just keep coming back to this to make sure that it's not burning. And a piece of onion decided it wanted to go to a better place, so it jumped out. Oh well, it doesn't know what it's missing. Alright, so I'm just going to fill my sink up with cold water, pop the potatoes in. So when we go to make the mashed potato, that is where the sour cream is going in case you're wondering where the hell is she going to put that sour cream. I generally keep those bags for things because they come in handy for things like when you're flouring your meat. Rather than putting it in a bowl and making a mess, you can put it in a bag. It's only had potatoes in it. Potatoes are fairly clean. Alright, when your onion's looking like that, get ready to chuck that meat in. Try not to put the bag in it. I've only done it once and I melt the corner of it. Okay. Break it up with your stirring stick. This is why I like this one, because it acts as a bit of a flipper as well. So if you're looking to set up your kitchen with like basic utensils, this is getting a bit dry. If it's getting a bit dry, I wouldn't normally do this, but I'm just going to put a little bit of the mince in. We will deglaze the pan later anyway. Yeah, so if you're looking at what do you need for a kitchen, I'd probably just say go somewhere like Kmart or Big W and just grab a few things. You'll eventually get to know what you do need and what you don't need. You might buy something and you never use it again, but at least if you're buying it somewhere where it's cheap, you're not outlaying huge money. Things like saucepans and frying pans that you are going to use a lot, you're probably better off trying to invest in better quality ones. That way then they're not going to let you down when you need them. And even places like op shops, sometimes you can pick up some really good bargains and good sizes and things like that. Just make sure if you are buying second-hand ones that you check to see that if they're supposed to have a silicone coating on them, that they've still got the silicone coating on them, because sometimes that is why they get rid of them. And you get all that stuff eventually starting to flake off, and you haven't actually really saved yourself a lot of money because you've just brought yourself a headache. You don't want one of those. Alright, putting that bit of stock in has actually helped. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit to halfway. Beautiful. Alright, our mince is looking pretty good. Okay, stir in the beef stock and the tomato soup. So we're going to do the soup first. I'm going to show you a little trick. This is not the condensed one, this is a creamy tomato soup, so it'll be lovely. And it's a little bit more than we need, but I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. Might be, but not to me. Alright, so to deglaze your jar, your tin I should say, you can. I can't English today, okay? Alright, in we go. Do you know when you have a day where you have had to use a lot of words, and then come the end of the day when you need to use words, you can't use words? Well, I'm at that part of that day. Alright. Okay, that's smelling lovely. That is a nice tomato soup. If you're a fan of soup in a tin, it's a good standby for later, but we'll get on to making soups eventually. I think I have done a few soups. Alright, so as soon as that comes to the boil, we're going to pop that timer on for half an hour. So I'm going to put the timer on for 35 minutes now, so that by the time it comes to the boil, it will be half an hour. I'm going to go and peel the potatoes, chop them up, and then we'll be back. Okay, so that's on the simmer for half an hour. The potatoes are going to go on. They should go on for 20 minutes. They are peeled and chopped. A little bit of water in them. So they're supposed to go on for 20 minutes, but I'm just going to keep an eye on them. So, look at this. This is simmering away beautifully. Alright, I'll be back when buzzers go off. Okay, so our buzzer's gone off for our half an hour on the mince. And we're just going to double check the potatoes, because I actually gave them longer than the 20 minutes. So they're okay now. So what we're going to do, turn both off. Okay, so move that one off the hot plate. And this one, the potatoes, we're going to drain them. Okay, so I've drained them. I'm just checking the sour cream that I had. Used by 28th of the 3rd. That's fine. So I'm going to use half a cup of the sour cream that I'd already opened. The other one's fine. It's got a longer use by date on it. So I will find something else that needs sour cream. So generally, if you open sour cream, you should always try and use it up pretty quickly. So I'd say things like have baked potatoes with sour cream, or do wedges with sour cream or something, but I haven't done either of those things. So as I say, it's just lucky that I can use it for this. If you don't open it, it will last till it's used by date, so you'll be fine. So what you want to aim to do is just use up, if you're in this situation like I am, doesn't matter if I put a bit more in it, because I actually didn't weigh the potatoes to see if there was a kilo there. Alright, so smash the potatoes with your potato masher. Chuck in the sour cream. Beautiful. Okay, so just give that a stir and make sure it's all mashed in nicely. Okay, grab that pan that we're cooking it in. This one, I'm going to go grab the meat. In we go. I sprayed that with cooking spray earlier. Now you can see why I use this one. It's a good size. Then what we need to do, we are going to dollop the potato on top. Okay, so just keep spooning it. Things like this are a bit hard to spread, so just try and, when you put it on, get it in the general area. Because obviously if I go to spread it, everything's going to go everywhere I don't want it to go. It may spread while it's cooking, but I'm not going to lie and say it will because I don't know. Sorry. So just in case this does go up and over, pop it on a baking tray. And we're going to cook it for 20 to 30 minutes until the potato is lightly golden. Okay, so I'll see you in 20 minutes. Okay, so I ended up giving it the extra 10 minutes because it didn't really look as brown on top as I wanted it to. And as you can see, it's very full. Be extra careful when you get it out of the oven because you don't want to burn yourself because that is hot. All right, serves 4 to 6. Serve it up with some veggies on the side and enjoy. Thank you for watching Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been Shepherd's Pie.